Alright then, sorry about a little bit of a late start right there, but I am live now with another Hippie Dota cast. This is going to be a replay of a series played earlier today for Premier League Season 4, Team Empire versus No Tidehunter. Two fantastic teams, been putting up great results so far. Let's see how it goes.
Dire team ban.
See if Coddle sneaks through now, as he did in the series I casted yesterday. Snuck through in, I believe, all 3 games. He may have been banned once in Game 2 by Fnatic, Chen being banned out by Empire, excuse me. Not wanting to deal with that. Ake's Chen, gotta be afraid of it. He's very, very good at it. And Empire has officially picked up Opa, and NTH has officially picked up EGM to replace the players that they have recently lost. On NTH's side, of course, that was Eternal Envy. And on Empire's side, that would be Funnek, who transferred to Navi, of course. Wisp being banned by No Tidehunter. The hero who is still just too strong for us to let him through. Empire's choice again. I'd like to see them ban out, I mean, maybe a Darkseer or a Magnus, try to sneak themselves through the Nyx or the Bat. But at this point, if they don't ban the Nyx or the Bat, both of them will probably get through. Alright, they're going to ban out Bulldog's Lone Druid. Fair enough, you don't want to deal with the Bulldog Lone Druid, because when Bulldog is playing Lone Druid, his root chance is something like 80%. It's just math. The game knows it's Bulldog, and therefore, more roots. So No Tidehunter, we'll have to see what they really don't want to deal with. If I were them, I'd probably ban out Batrider, let Empire take Nyx, and then take Darkseer Magnus for myself. But again, that's... Alright, they're going to ban out Darkseer. But, you know, that's me, and as we know, if you've watched any of my casts, I will give up a whole lot to get the Darkseer Magnus as my my first double pick right there. And I've drafted my way into several disasters in the past, so don't necessarily trust my drafts. So Empire deciding, do they want Magnus, do they want Nyx, do they want Batrider? They're going to take the Batrider, alright. Probably the strongest lane presence out of the 3, so able to be very, very controlling in any lane he ends up in, as long as it's not a 3v1, and at the same time able to jungle if he... very quickly as well if he is forced to offlane. So probably the hero of those first 3 I mentioned with the most versatility in where he can be laned. And while Nyx did get a minor nerf, I mean, it makes him a little less easy to manage. Spiked Carapace now has half a second less stun, as well as No Tidehunter going to take Nyx and Nature's Prophet. Alright. Basically, Spiked Carapace stuns a little less, but the bigger nerf was shifting the cooldown from a flat, I believe it was 14 seconds, to 24, I want to say, 20, something scaling down from about 24, and it scales down to 14 over time. I can't remember the level 2 and 3 cooldowns. You'll have to forgive me. But basically, he's a lot more easy to harass out of lane. He doesn't have the Spiked Carapace up every time you have a nuke you want to burn on him, so you can try to trick him out of burning it, and basically has to be a lot more careful with what he decides to Carapace. Keeper of the Light and Queen of Pain going to be the pickups for Empire, so Batrider most likely not going mid, and Keeper of the Light picked up. Very, very powerful support. We'll have to see if No Tidehunter wants to, if they're planning on midding that Nyx against the Queen of Pain, which is alright. I mean, Nyx can do some work against Queen of Pain just on the back of mana burn. He can do some good harassment off of her, but remember that's a very, very long cooldown at its first level. So they're going to have a lot of, it takes a while to burn away Queen of Pain's entire mana pool. Shadow Demon going to be the next pickup for No Tidehunter. Not only, I mean, they're getting to the banning phase, so they can, they could have banned out the Phantom Lancer if they don't want to play against the Coddle Phantom Lancer lineup. But at the same time, if they don't want to spend a ban on Phantom Lancer, picking Shadow Demon makes teams think twice before they pick up a Phantom Lancer, because Shadow Demon is so effective at turning around that hero's power onto himself.
Radiant team ban.
Empire banning out supports for now. Enchantress taken out. No Tidehunter sitting on most likely their mid, their offlaner / jungler, and 1 support. They could relegate the Nyx to a support role if need be. but you don't see a support Nyx as often anymore. You very often have been seeing him mid. And S4 plays a good Nyx. Can't get over that. Although, he may go Night Stalker. He really likes Night Stalker when faced with mobile heroes like Queen of Pain and Bat Rider. So we'll see if that gets banned out, possibly by Empire, not wanting to deal with S4's Night Stalker. But, so, basically against No Tidehunter, you want to ban out really strong supports and carries you don't feel like playing against. For No Tidehunter's bans, they've already banned out the Gyrocopter. They're probably going to be banning mostly carries because there's a very strong mid, some very strong gankers. You don't need to worry so much about banning out particular supports in this case. I mean, Caudle will go well with just about anyone. He gives enough laning strength that as long as there's any decent support left on the board, which there will be, they'll be okay. But banning out the carries you really don't want to deal with is probably your best option right now. And the Gyrocopter, of course, very good against the Nature's Prophet because of the flat cannon, able to stop his split push much more effectively than your average carry, as well as farm up very quickly off of it.
Reserve time.
I mean, if I was Empire, I would be banning out probably either supports with really good lockdown, because the Queen of Pain and the Bat Rider are both on the board, or possibly carries with, there goes the Lina, so some AoE stun and nuke, some counter push taken out there, and possibly some particularly good lockdown carries. Maybe don't want to deal with Faceless Void. The PL is going to be banned out by NTH, so they don't even want to leave the option open, even though they have Shadow Demon. And also, of course, Empire banning out the Lina because they don't want to deal with the Shadow Demon-Lina combo. They might ban out the Leshrac as well, because Shadow Demon-Leshrac equally powerful, and if they're just worried about like a really nasty kind of kill tri-lane, or just a roaming support combo, alright, they're going to ban out the Lifestealer. Lifestealer, of course, if NTH wanted to run an aggressive try, Lifestealer would probably be their premier pick for that. And Nyx Shadow Demon Lifestealer is a pretty strong aggressive try, if you want to go with it. That's a good setup for the Nyx stun, time for the Lifestealer to get in off of the Disruption, and then, of course, the Open Wounds and the Rage to make sure he can just eat them alive while not being able to be cancelled out of it by anything until somebody has a level 6 disable. Or you have Naga Siren. But she's a pretty rare pick nowadays. Ever since the base damage nerf, people are kind of afraid to pick her up because her early laning is so mediocre. Still becomes very, very powerful if farmed up, and that's still a game, pretty much a fight-winning ultimate right there. No Tidehunter are going to be the ones to ban out Faceless Void, knowing that Empire has the first pick of carries, not wanting to just hand that over. Faceless Void actually probably would have been my pick for No Tidehunter's carry, just because it's particularly nice when you have a Queen of Pain on the other team and you have a Bat Rider, two heroes that do a lot by basically running around the team fight and being in the middle and then being back out, using a lot of mobility to keep themselves from getting locked down. Having that huge Faceless Void ultimate is particularly effective. Leshrac picked up by Team Empire, I think not only because he's strong support, but because they know they don't want No Tidehunter picking him up, and that would have been an excellent pick. There's enough carries left on the board that that No Tidehunter doesn't have to worry about getting locked out of pretty much, you know, everything. But at the same time, you know, they would probably be picking a support right here, is what I'm trying to get at, even though I'm kind of fumbling over how I'm trying to say it. So, taking the Leshrac away, and they pick up the Rubik instead. So now both teams down to their carry picks. Anti-Mage on the board. Let's see here, Lone Druid's out, Gyrocopter's out, Faceless Void is out, Lifestealer's out, Phantom Lancer's out. That's a lot of really premier carries have been banned out this game. Kind of unusual. You don't usually see this many carries removed. But no, NTH just basically said, we know that the last thing we need is for you to have a strong mid-game carry to combine with that Queen of Pain. We want to make sure you don't have anyone who can help her out, anyone who can set up for her, anyone who can go in with her in the mid-game, or anyone who can kind of relieve pressure around the map, like the Phantom Lancer split push that they banned out, to give the Queen of Pain more room. We want to force you to use the Queen of Pain to protect your carry. I wonder if Empire wants to go kind of an all-in push sort of thing. They have a lot of good creep clearing. They have the Leshrac Edict for taking down towers. Do they maybe just want to go kind of balls deep with this strategy? I don't know. Treant Protector! Alright! That is one of my absolute favorite heroes, and I'm wondering if they're going to be running him as a farmer. I mean, it's pretty much impossible to outlast hit him because of his incredible base damage, but at the same time, he'll be very, very strong in the mid-game just because of how much strength he has and how hard he is to bring down. But in the late game, his low base attack time, the fact that he doesn't actually have a scaling ability, means he can't really do anything more than semi-carry. Maybe they're going to be farming the Leshrac? I don't know, but this is not a late-game strategy from Empire. They want to win this all in the mid-game. An anti-mage being picked up by No Tidehunter. They're going to say, okay, we're going to rely on the Furion and our strong ganking and kind of counter-ganking presence from the Nyx Assassin, the Shadow Demon, and the Rubik to relieve enough pressure at the beginning of the game for us to farm up this anti-mage until we can just win because you don't have a carry. Blow Your Brain going to be put on the Treant Protector. It's a farming Treant, and that is so awesome to me. You guys have no idea. I love taking that hero mid because nobody apparently can deal with the Treant mid just because of both that base damage, the obviously the living armor skill, which is incredibly valuable against
places everyone
against pushes, because it's the only thing in the game that will heal your towers and can be cast on them from across the entire map. And they actually just changed that skill in 7.7c, so that now, previously it would remove a charge from the living armor. The mechanic of it is basically, there's a certain amount of instances of damage, which is 7, for which it will block the incoming damage by a certain amount, just like a shield or a vanguard or something like that. And once those 7 instances are used up, you lose the buff and you lose the regen. And previously, magic would take off one of those charges, but the damage would not be reduced. And Ice Frog changed it in 7.7c, for which the parity patch has since been put into Dota 2, so that now it will actually block the damage that comes from magical attacks as well, making Treant very, very hard to bring down in the mid-game. Incredibly hard. And he already was, thanks to Living Armor, Leech Seed, which is a big nuke that also heals everyone around it, and since he's going to be right next to them, he's getting basically 300 hit points ticked up on him every time he smacks that on someone. And, of course, he's naturally evasive if you're not carrying Dust because of Nature's Guise. See, now I just gotta root for Empire because they're using Treant, and it's just crazy. Treant versus Nature's Prophet, who wins? Oh yeah, 14. Blow Your Brain, getting stunned by the Roshan, taking a bunch of damage. It's alright, he'll just living armor himself up. So, Blow Your Brain, Nature's Prophet, SS, Leshrac, Godlack, gonna be on the Keeper of the Light, Scandal on the Batrider, and Opa on the Queen of Pain. S4 on the Nyx, Loda, gonna be on the Anti-Mage, Ake on the Shadow Demon. We have EGM on the Rubik, and going to have Admiral Bulldog playing a safe lane Nature's Prophet. And this is interesting. It looks like, I'm pretty sure that it's Empire who wants to go try versus try right here. So NTH has dodged it by simply sending themselves up into the top lane. They're saying, alright, our anti-mage will just farm up here because we know you're expecting us to put him safe lane. And you'd think almost that Empire could have seen this coming, because it's a pretty obvious, I think, counterplay. You don't want to put your anti-mage against a try. We might have an engagement here on the Queen of Pain. She's taking a good chunk of damage despite having that blink away ready. By the way, I'm going to be trying to focus a lot more on the camera work. I'm trying to focus on catching a lot more of these kills. I know that's an issue I have, so trying to look at a little bit more of the minimap. I hope my general kind of camera and fight control doesn't suffer, but I'll be trying to make sure that I see everything that comes our way for once. So it looks like Empire is already, in fact, rotating up both the Leshrac and the Keeper of the Light. They're going to be laning right here with the Queen of Pain. And they're going to leave the Treant to farm solo against the Nature's Prophet. That's just a hilarious matchup. Tree on Tree Lover. How can Nature's Prophet fight Treant Protector and not feel guilty? I mean, he's like the embodiment of everything Nature's Prophet wants to protect. Am I getting too, like, backstory, too lame? Okay, yes. Alright. Alright, looks like we do have a bit of an engagement maybe coming over this creep camp right here. Loda trying to just steal some experience from these camps. You have to forgive me, I still do have a little bit of that cough that I had last night, but it's a little better, and hopefully it won't be quite as pervasive tonight. But we will see. Bulldog, putting some harass in down here at the bottom lane. Blow Your Brain, despite the fact that he's taking a lot of harass, thanks to the living armor, is able to sustain a whole lot better. And he's doing something I love, which is a lot of people, I think, don't think about when they're skilling this hero. They go, oh, you know, living armor is really good early. It helps keep people alive. Nature's Guise is really good early. It helps keep people alive. And then they kind of, oh, we might have an engagement coming in up here. Loda going in to try and steal some creep camps. Disruption going to be dropped on SS, but Ake is going to be the first blood from that Keeper Blast. He's going to get charged up this time. Opa is going in on Loda. Is he going to get the last auto attack? He is. Double kill for Empire up top. This is the start they need. They need to prevent that anti-mage from getting a quick start. They need to keep him down long enough. Basically, this game, Empire strategy, this game lives and dies on how long they can prevent that anti-mage from farming. Scandal getting a little gutsy in there. I think he was going for the courier that was just backing up. He was giving S4, or picking up S4's bottle, rather. So maybe getting a little more aggressive than he should have been. But he's still alive. He's going to both drink up some bottle charges and get a living armor to pick himself back up a little bit. The other thing about Treant, it makes all of your lanes hard to kill when you have a Treant available. But what I was talking about, Empire's window is basically, for however long they can keep the anti-mage from getting farmed, they can win the game. So if they can keep getting kills on the anti-mage, basically every time they slow him down, they're extending the time clock that they've put on their team by not picking like a real hard carry. And by having an anti-mage against you, against basically your farming Treant is your hardest carry right here. Scandal looks like he's taking more pressure in this mid lane. S4 has the stun mana. You'd think he's maybe trying to go for it, but Scandal just kind of baiting him in to take a couple tower hits and then moving very, very quickly back. Make sure he doesn't actually take any damage. Gets his bottle back from the Crow. Takes a quick stun. S4 looks like he's just farming with that stun. I don't think he even had uphill vision at the time to realize he caught Scandal. It looks like this try versus try up here that I'm kind of surprised NTH is letting happen. Maybe they're okay with it because it means the Queen of Pain is not getting a fast level 6, which is a huge disadvantage for her because she relies so much on her levels to win the game. But at the same time, if her presence in this lane is keeping the anti-mage from farming up and the Treant Protector gets farmed up, the Treant Protector, as I mentioned, can be a very powerful mid-gamer. Between that 70-second cooldown ultimate that's a massive disable, or well, it is not a full disable, but it will prevent all blinking, etc., and until Lodi gets either a Manta style or a BKB, he won't be able to pop himself out of that, he won't be able to blink out of that, and it's really not a fun place to be as an anti-mage, is in a 4.5 second you can't blink cloud. I think it starts at 3 seconds, goes up to 4.5. Yes, it does. I do occasionally play that hero, and I sort of vaguely know his numbers. Oh, looks like we do have something going on here in the middle lane. Scandal getting caught by all three. The rotation happened from both EGM and Ake. He might get away. He's got the Firefly running. He's going to take that last auto attack from Rubik, though. Didn't quite have the regen to get through that. Alright, I caught about half that kill. Getting better. Getting better. Caught the first blood, too. That was a new high for me right now. So, on last hits, Treant Protector is leading the way just ahead of our good friend. Oh, poor Goblak, getting himself carapaced right there. That's something that is always worth carapacing if you know it's coming, is the Coddle Blast, because it does so much return damage. It's basically just Coddle handing you a 500 damage nuke once it's maxed out. Obviously less at this level. It's probably only level 1 or 2 right now. It's level 2, so it's still 300 return damage if you charged it the whole way. So that's pretty awesome. Lots of pressure being put on this tower, and Loda can't be feeling particularly safe up here. Opa just pressuring, using the Scream of Pain, the Shadow Strike to make sure Loda feels as uncomfortable as possible. Oh, that's a lot of damage on Opa coming in from that Furion ult. But Anti-Mage not feeling comfortable engaging on that, despite the fact that he's gone for the kind of aggressive mana break build. Oh, Treant goes down. Treant goes down to a ganked out bottom. I missed one. I'm sorry, guys. I was very focused on that Anti-Mage. Who it looks like might be in trouble next. So NTH, they make the rotation to catch the farmer from Empire, but maybe the rotation is going to come in. If they can force the port back by Loda, the blink away, then this the Batrider in position with a lasso is going to be really brutal if he can catch him. All they need to do is get him to burn that blink, get him to burn... Oh! Little bit too aggressive off of Scandal. If he had basically stayed kind of like back here and forced Loda to blink backwards with the engagement from SS and Opa, then I think Scandal could have just popped the lasso and killed him, and it would have been very easy. But maybe just not having the patience to go in. Looks like Nyx has actually ported in now against 3. Opa taking a lot of damage, takes the quick Vendetta. Quick kill for the Anti-Mage as well. The Nyx is going to get lassoed, and SS putting out a lot of return damage. That combined with the Flame Break is going to bring him down. Nice stun onto Loda. Does he have his blink? How long? He has 2 more seconds, 1 more second. He's going to get away. Just barely, though. Very, very close to going down on that. So a 1-for-1 trade. Nyx Assassin for Queen of Pain. Probably a better trade for Empire, quite frankly, because they're going to get the extra experience off of the Nyx. Although I would have really liked it if the Nyx had died before the Queen of Pain, of course, so she could get a little bit of extra experience. But they're also going to take a tower with that Leshrac Edict, so they are going to definitely take the better of that trade for now. Quick look at the graphs. Should be about even. A little less than 500 XP, a little more than 1,500 gold for Empire. So they're managing to get themselves a little bit of an advantage, just despite the fact that the Treant and the Nyx are farming quite well. You'll see up here, 38-13, 31-7. You then have 4 heroes from... Oh, Queen of Pain is going to go in on Bulldog. He doesn't have any way to get out of this. He's going to go down very easily. Even if he had started that teleport, he probably would have gone down before the... just to the Shadow Strike damage before the teleport went off, even though it's only level 1. It's a lot of freaking damage. That's probably one of the most effective level 1 skills in the game, probably. But basically, I mean, look back at this creep graph real quick, now that gank is over. 31-5, 31-5, 28-4, 25-0. Everyone on Empire is getting a good chunk of farm and a good chunk of creeps because they're not trying to force everything all onto one person. And regardless, they're just kind of making better use of what's going on around the entire map. I mean, they have basically just a lot more last hits than NTH does in total, especially with the Anti-Mage only sitting at 17-0. And like I said, the longer they can keep that Anti-Mage underfarmed, the longer they extend their window. Basically, keep the game from entering the end game phase, because basically it transitions there when carries are starting to get farmed up. There is no set timer for when things happen in Dota. Phases transition when teams basically transition out of them intentionally. And if one team decides they want to transition to the mid-game before you're done with the laning phase, that can be, you know, pretty powerful if you're not ready for it. If you're not ready for the shifting coming out of lanes, you're not ready for a 5-man push. And starting an early mid-game. Looks like Opa might be in trouble here. Takes a quick disruption. Depends on how fast EGM gets that lift. He's going to get it off really quickly, and the damage... Oh, the Fury and all bouncing through to finish him. Scandal is going to grab Ake, pull him back into that Firefly, but I don't think he's going to do quite... No, he is possibly going to bring him down right here. Yup, lots of damage from the Firefly, the Flame Break, and the Napalm, and nobody going to go in on Scandal, which is kind of interesting to me. I would have expected a port or something, try to engage on him, but I guess they'll just take that trade. Shadow Demon for Queen of Pain. Always a reasonable exchange. But yeah, so the phases of the game, I mean, basically Empire will transition into an early mid-game, where they're trying to, you know, make sure that they start playing 5-man Dota before NTH does and put enough pressure onto them that they can basically win the game before NTH is ready to make any sort of transition. Because NTH has to spend more time trying to get this Anti-Mage farmed up and trying to get him farmed up safely before they can take those 5-on-5 engagements. So every kill on that Anti-Mage, delaying him from being comfortable with any sort of engagement, is a huge win for Empire, and a huge just boon for their lineup in general and their chances of winning this game. Looks like we might have an engagement coming down here onto Loda. People are in position to gank. He's got a CSS, though, because of these trees. He may have caught him very quickly. It is nighttime, so actually his vision radius probably ends about right here, but the Furion tree is going to see them both. So that gank is going to be foiled. Unfortunate. Look at all these sentries. And this is something I was mentioning in some of the matches last night. When you're playing against a Nyx, you want to have sentries pretty much everywhere. You want to know every time that Nyx is anywhere near you in his Vendetta. Because, oh, SS might be the one in trouble right now, taking a lot of damage. The lift comes in. Nice root. Going to catch Loda just as he comes out of that blink. Not going to be enough to stop SS from going down, but they do get Ake at the very least. Looks like EGM is going to be the next to fall. That's a 2-for-1 exchange. Let's try. Oh, now they've grabbed Loda. Why did he go back up there? He knew the Batrider was there. Looks like S4 is... Oh, no. Maybe do they not have reveal for him right now? No. Doesn't look like anyone is carrying any, or they probably would have dropped it. I think probably all their reveal is sitting in mid lane and down here by this ward to make sure they see the Nyx moving around the map. But this should be, I mean, Scandal is going to port away, but they might still be able to get a tower out of this. Just Goblack, Blow Your Brain, and Opa together. That's a lot of AoE, and someone that people have a lot of trouble engaging on in the early game is that Treant. That'll be fun to watch. I'm wondering if maybe they ran this somewhere else beforehand and I just missed the game. Stun is coming out onto Goblak. He might be the next one to go, but Nature's Guise is going to drop on him. He's going to fade right away. Blow Your Brain is saying, hey, what's up, guys? Oh, now that Loda's there, he wants none of this. He's out of mana to do anything useful. He's probably going to get dived on and brought down here. Loda trying to... he gets the mana break. Is he going to dive any further? There's the living armor, so yeah, Loda can't be comfortable just taking swings now. Oh, and it looks like... oh, Queen of Pain came in! Queen of Pain came in, picked off both Rubik and Nature's Prophet right behind there. And that's pretty awesome right there. And now a triple kill coming down. Looks like the Shadow Demon got ticked down, most likely, by that Shadow Strike. S4 is going to be next on the docket. No mana to escape. There you go. He pops just enough to get a stun off on his S, but a quad kill, ultra kill for Opa playing that Queen of Pain. That is exactly what she needed after coming out of a lane where she couldn't get nearly as much experience as she wanted to. Now she's level 10. She is now tied with Batrider for highest level in the game after these really effective ganks and team fights that they've been kind of making happen. Basically, Opa is playing really well. They're managing to lock down the anti-mage fairly effectively. Loda is maybe playing a little riskier than he should in certain situations. Like, for instance, I don't know why, just after he killed Goblak right here, I believe it was Goblak, why in the world he would go back up here when he knew there was a Batrider hanging around. Just kind of very risky and maybe questionable play right there. And Empires, they're saying, alright, we know we have a nice big mid-game advantage. We're going to use this to push your bottom tower. We're going to take a tier 2 at 13 and a half minutes. Looks like they're going to be at least a little careful about this. Charge going up. What did Rubik just steal there? Oh, S4 is going to get grabbed very quickly by Scandal, who is going to get lifted. The disruption is going to happen to break that lasso. Opa comes in, tries to get all the damage out. Ake not quite dying yet. Nice Treant ult is going to catch S4 right there. It's also going to catch Shadow Demon. So, let's see here. S4, no, only Shadow Demon went down. The S4 playing that Nyx Assassin did not, and this is getting turned around on Empire fairly effectively. S4 just getting in, getting a lot of damage done, picking up 3 kills very quickly, and Empire, that blink in from Scandal, kind of questionable right there. I mean, you knew that the rest of the team was kind of back here, and only the Queen of Pain is going to be able to follow you up that effectively. Trina is going to have to run in, and even though he got a decent ult off and caught a few people, Opa up here, blinking in beyond where any of your team can help you, especially with the tree blockers right here, very dangerous place to be. So maybe Empire thinking they had a little bit more of an advantage than they did. I don't know why they tried to go in before they really had a creep wave ready to support them. They probably could have done a little more there if they had waited and got themselves in a bit of a better position, kind of jockeyed a little, since they knew that their top was getting pushed and there were 2 heroes committed up there. I do like this pickup from Opa, going for the Necronomicon. They know they have to win it early, so let's get something that helps with team fights, is really effective against, lower level heroes because of the mana burn, and will let them see the Nyx once it's level 3, and helps them push very hard. I mean, just a lot of different things that are very, very good for Empire's lineup come out of that Necronomicon. Now it looks like Empire wants to take this mid. They've taken the tier 1 already. There goes the Sentry watching for Nyx. And now this time you have to imagine they'll be a little more careful about the engagement after the defeat that was just handed to them in that bottom lane by basically 3 heroes. I mean, the Anti-Mage wasn't there, and I believe the Nature's Prophet wasn't there either. Which is kind of, I mean, that's your 2 farming heroes not there, so they're getting farm while the rest of your team, like 3v5s and wins. That's pretty great. Scandal just going to come down, port away real quick. Looks like Empire is going to give up on pushing this mid tower for now. Scandal has to come down and stop the Nature's Prophet push that was threatening their tier 1 bottom. They don't want to give Anti-Mage any sort of free experience. And look at the health on these 2 towers. The top tier 1 is gone, unfortunately, for Empire. But, looks like we have an engagement going on over here. Maybe they have to have seen the Nyx Assassin at least a little bit. Oh, he does get grabbed. He must have been just in range of that Sentry Ward right there, and he goes down very quickly to the burst potential coming out of Team Empire. And that's pretty much just a golden ticket for them to push this mid lane. Now it's 5v4. They know Loda isn't going to show up. He's not particularly useful. He has a Ring of Health. So yeah, they take the tier 2 for free after the Nyx goes down. S4 definitely the playmaker right now for No Tidehunter. And without him, just not a lot they can do. Looks like, yeah, they're just trying to... ND's trying to split push their way to victory right now. Bulldog pushing the bottom lane, Loda pushing the top lane. Now both of them porting away, just putting in a little bit of damage. But this will be slowly healed up by Treant Protector once it's time. For now, though, it's going to take some decent chunks of damage. until Goblat can push it all away. Scandal looks like he's just going to be farming up a little bit over in this jungle. He's got his Blink Dagger, probably looking for his Force Staff, make things just a little easier for him to initiate with. Pull people well out of position. God, Batrider's such a good jungler. Most of NTH kind of hanging around this mid lane for now. A couple transitions happening. S4 maybe going to be going for this Queen of Pain up here. Looks like she's going to back off. He's still going to hunt. It looks like he's got a little bit of time on that Vendetta, but she's just going to port out. And maybe he caught the end of that port, I guess, because he backed off very quickly. I don't know. Now just going to farm this top lane. And it looks like Empire is going to be going for a Roshan kill right here. And I guess they're thinking between the Edict and the problem is that all this magical damage they have is going to get reduced pretty thoroughly by Roshan. He takes greatly reduced magical damage. So, I mean, they can tank him for a long time, but it's not going to be far from a quick kill. So we'll see if maybe NTH figures out that they're here, does some kind of reaction right now. I mean, they have to be thinking, you know, where are these guys? We don't see them on the map. We have the Nyx scouting around their jungle. We're looking around. We have wards in their jungle now, too, so we can see if they run by here. But the counter ward down here, and there goes the Roche. Queen of Pain picking up the Aegis. And Empire now, we'll have to see what they do with that coming out of that Roche pit. Looks like they might want to try and break this this tier 3 mid. No, looks like they're going to shift for the tier 2 bottom. Maybe try to gank Bulldog, who's down there split pushing it a little. If he's wise, he's going to back off. I know he saw them shifting down here on wards. Yeah, here he goes. Going to go into the trees and port away. Make sure he doesn't get caught. But yeah, Empire, I mean, they have to be a little careful because their top lane's getting pushed in pretty thoroughly. They've got Scandal to drop the Firefly up here, but that's 3 heroes. He could go down pretty easily if he doesn't realize the kind of danger he's in. And without any wards hanging out around this top tier 2, I don't think he does. I don't think he has any idea what's about to happen to him. Now he knows Furion's there as well, so he knows that there's oh, he's getting pulled away. He's getting pulled away. Good timing. I'm not sure they realized that the Nyx was there. But looks like they're perfectly happy to give up their top tower in exchange for getting the push into the base on the bottom lane.
Radiant's bottom tower ain't a pretty sight.
And then they have the Aegis as well, so they can basically just continue this push. I mean, they're not going to have any problems with that. Alright, towers go down at about the same time. And now, decision time. You guys going to port out? You guys, Loda have a port. Loda has a port. Bulldog's port is off cooldown, so yeah, they can go. Looks like they might want to try and get a little bit of split push going up at the top lane. Loda and Bulldog looks like they might be committing to trying to take the top tower of Empire right now. And Bloa just going in very happily, beating on that tower. But now it looks like Empire, no, they're going to back up. They're not interested in committing to this. Ports are coming out. Top tower is taking a lot of damage coming out from NTH. Bulldog has burned his Shadow Blade and is now there was you saw a very quick living armor to try and protect it. They do lose that top tower though. So we'll see. Loda gets mana leaked, but just stands still. No real additional threats coming in. The only port was from Goblack on that Keeper of the Lights. They have no way to bring him back or lock him down. So Empire trading their top tier 3 for nothing. I mean, bit of a misstep from them. They thought they could bring down NTH's tier 3 a little faster, but it looks like they were kind of dancing around. They didn't really want to commit so that they didn't get, you know, multi-stun from the Nyx and then have people poured in on top of them. So, and they were just, I think, a little too afraid of that to be willing to engage. And so, because they were a little afraid and they really couldn't make a decision on whether they wanted to go or back, and they kind of just dithered for a few seconds there, they lose their tier 3. Let's see where that puts the graphs. The XP still somewhat in favor of Empire, about 2,500. Solid number. And then you have about maybe 3,000 or 3,500 gold as the difference for them as well. So they're still keeping their kind of advantage going on, but the less they, oh, S4 getting away. He's going to port out before Opa is able to do anything about it. And Opa just doesn't have what he needs to stop a port because he went for that Necro 3. Not to say it's a bad pickup, it's just, you know, that's what happens when you... Because for a Necro 3, you could basically buy a sheep, pretty much. So, you're making a conscious decision, like, I would rather have this thing than a sheep stick. It's only about 375 more gold, and there are occasions on which that is a really good decision. This, I still think, is one of them. Necro 3 is an amazing item, but it means the Queen of Pain is somewhat less effective as a ganker and is more of a team fighter because of it. Let's see how the Loda is doing on his anti-mage. He has his Battle Fury, which for 22 minutes, I mean, Loda just having a Battle Fury and treads, that's still really, really good on the part of Empire. They've kept him down very effectively. But you can't keep an anti-mage down forever. He's too evasive. He will find his farm, especially played by someone like Loda, who, well, he may make some questionable plays at times. He will find his farm wherever he goes. And you still have to be worried about that. You have to be worried, and now he has at least a little bit of damage to engage with. Looks like Bulldog is porting up to the top lane, trying to get those Raxes pushed down. Oh, that's a big grab. If they got the Nyx, and the Nyx immediately goes down. Buys back very, very quickly, does S4, but that tower taking a whole lot of damage coming out from these Necro minions. There's now 2 Necro books out for Empire. Alright, S4 pops his invis, and it looks like after that, after their Necro books are down, Empire not willing to commit anymore. Oh, the chase might be on with 2 heroes having ported out, though. S4 is going to be looking for someone to go on. Is it going to be Goblack? It is. He gets the Vendetta. He gets the stun. He blinks through the Split Earth. Damage is going to come out from SS in that ultimate. Oh, there's the Tree of Protector ultimate to make sure he gets people locked down. He forces the defensive disruption, which gets S4 out of the fight for quite a while. Nice stun to prevent himself from being chased any further, and a Fade Bolt from Rubik just to dissuade any further engagement. Opa chasing with a haste rune, though. I mean, if he can find anyone, they're going to be hard-pressed to get away from him now between a blink and a haste. Oh, but Loda must have just seen him port in there. Oh, no, it's still nighttime. He might not have quite had the vision for that. I don't think they realize. But Opa also unaware that there are a pair of very valuable, very dangerous heroes right above him. And he's just going to sit there, take that regen, and return to the fight. Buy himself an Ultimate Orb, which hopefully will be used for a sheep stick. So that's probably exactly the... I mean, as many Necrobooks as possible, I'm totally cool with. Who's the other Necrobook on? Yup, it's on Treant Protector, so that's what they're using him for. He could just get himself a straight Necrobook. I would have kind of liked... Well, yeah, I think I would have kind of liked him to get a Blink Dagger, just because it's so valuable to be able to position yourself for such an amazing ultimate, especially when you can use so often. Oh, I missed a kill. Looks like where? Oh, it was down here. Alright, so Bulldog looks like he was split pushing up this bottom lane. Got caught by Scandal and SS. Never a fun pair of heroes. Batrider and Lashrock to get locked down by. You're not getting away from that, buddy. Good gank. Good gank. And it looks like we do have a gem out on the Batrider now. So not only will we be able to counter ward very well, but they don't have to fear the Nyx Assassin initiation as long as the Batrider is with them. Or rather, they should still fear it if they get in a bad position and they can't do something about it beforehand, but they could see it coming and probably play around it. Looks like the push is going to return to this mid lane. Bloa is very quickly pushing out the top lane. So he's 1,000 gold, so he doesn't have a port of any kind. He's probably going for portal boots, I would assume, because of the fact that he hasn't upgraded his boots yet. So it looks like Empire for now is just going to be thinking about pushing 4v5, which is a little dangerous for them. The anti-mage is still hanging out top. Oh no, of course, duh. No, Goblack will just port him in. What am I thinking? The recall already active.
Radiant's toughened up their
And
structure.
did he get tagged? I think he must have gotten tagged. Yeah, Loda hung out and tagged him.
Radiant's mid-tower.
Oh, there, they do catch Ake very quickly, so none of that Shadow Demon support, none more of these defensive disruptions that have been annoying them so much. Is the recall happening now from Goblack? It better be. Yeah, there he goes. Where's the tree ultimate? Where's the tree ultimate? Oh, he's already used it. Alright, totally missed it. I'm bad. Opa picking up another kill on top of all this. Ake is going to be chased down. They're going to catch him along with the haste aura now. Opa not going to dive that far, but the mid tower has gone in. Oh, yes he is. I was wrong. He was just waiting for that blink cooldown. And now we have a 12-2-6 Queen of Pain. This mid-Rex is going to die. They've got a good 30 seconds or so to wail on it before NTH is back to full strength. And that should be enough to... oh, they lost their courier. A bit of a careless play. I didn't actually see where it died, but that is not great. Was anything on it? No, okay. So it died on the way out. They didn't actually lose any items for the next 3 minutes. But still not exactly what you want to give a 300... I mean, it's, I believe, 175 per player. So I don't know where I got 300 from, but a little less than 200 to each player. Never a good thing. Practically a Roshan kill off the courier, which is significant. SS going to just buy from the secret shop, it looks like. Looks like he's going for a Bloodstone himself. Yep. And he can just disassemble his boots, make his Bloodstone, and get right back. So Bloodstone on his support Leshrac at 27 minutes, not half bad. Maybe the Leshrac is going to transition more into kind of a carry and teamfight DPS role for the next 10-15 minutes or so. And when you have a hero with a big AoE disable like Treant Protector, it can be very, very potent. If you can just keep people near the Leshrac, so the Edict and the Pulse Nova just ticks them down. And he's actually been skilling stats over Lightning Storm. He's not interested in burning off all the Lightning Storm mana. Oh, it looks like S4 is going to be the target. There's the stun coming out. Split Earth comes out from SS, and just too much burst for that Nyx to live through right there. Anti-Mage is trying to get away. They don't really have anyone to blink in and stun him, so he is going to make it out. But here comes the push coming down bottom lane. And we know we have Bulldog pushing the top lane. I'm waiting for Bulldog to somehow get himself killed with his ultimate by tagging the Necronomicon Warrior and taking the Last Will damage. That's 600 damage to anyone who kills him. I believe it's pure damage. Yes, yes. Oh, Empire? Yup. They were just waiting for this Roshan to come back up, and they will be happy to take it once again. No vision around here from NTH, but they have to know that he's coming up right about now. Looks like we do have Opa hanging out in the top lane. Maybe they're looking to gank him. They have both the Anti-Mage and Bulldog hanging out right here. That's a lot of damage. Opa looks like he's perfectly willing to fight for now. And that was the wrong decision. I just don't think... I think basically what happened there was he got stuck in the cast animation from his Sonic Scream. And before he could even think about blinking out, Anti-Mage blinked in, tagged him twice, boom, Mana Void. All the mana he just spent on Sonic Scream, just gone. Qualt buys back, though. Looks like maybe she's the one who wants to pick up the Aegis once again. She gets summoned in by the Queen of Pain. Sheepstick picked up by Nature's Prophet. That is a significant pickup. We'll have to see how that affects the next team fight, and if he's going to commit to team fighting instead of split pushing to try and make good use of that. I mean, that's a team fighting item. That's not just a split pushing item. If you wanted to purely be a split pusher, you would have gone for a damage item. Maybe a Desolator. Maybe... Excuse me. Maybe a Desolator, maybe his own Necrobook to give himself a few more minions to push with. Something like that. Scandal being summoned in now. Empire looks like they're going to be wanting to push this bottom lane, as expected earlier, except this time they have an Aegis to do it with on their Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain approaching her own Sheepstick, but will not have it in time for this push, or maybe they're just going to slow siege, but their top Rax is taking damage, so it's commit or pull back. This is, I mean, it's decision time for them. They're going to fort, which means they're going to commit. So, alright, damage is coming out. The lift goes out on Treant to prevent him from getting the damage for now. Tower goes down. Top Rax does go down for Empire. Bottom Rax is getting smacked for No Tidehunter, taking a whole lot of damage from both the Necrobook minions and, of course, all the auto attacks coming in. Alright, so basically trading Rax for Rax right here, which is probably a good trade for NTH, or at least it would be if it was first Rax for first Rax, because you're totally happy, you know, trading Rax for Rax if you have the stronger carry. But it's very hard to deal with two constant lanes of push. It's basically like having an extra hero around the map, constantly just swinging the lanes in the favor of Empire and keeping them pushed up. So now, all they need to do is if they're convinced they can win team fights, which I think they probably can, they have still a sizable advantage. They're sitting on, looks like a little less than 7,500 XP, a little less than 7,500 gold advantage. That's pretty sizable. Not insurmountable, but sizable. And so all they have to do is commit to winning a team fight. They still have an Aegis, and they picked up the Sheepstick on the Queen of Pain. Aegis will last another 3-4 minutes, approximately. Wait a minute. Right, okay, because that's 1. Okay. Another 4 minutes. I was really confused for a second as to the clock on the Roshan thing. Anyway, now that we've learned that I don't know how to tell time, because it's basically just a regular clock, I can get back to what I was saying, which is Empire can and should feel confident about taking team fights, and if they can just muscle down the top lane through a team fight victory, if they trade Rax for Rax at this point, they win the game, because they get Mega Creeps. They don't care about losing a Rax at this point. They don't care. Whatever they have to lose to get this next Rax is okay, as long as it's not 2 Raxes for the price of 1. because then you end up with Mega Creeps versus Mega Creeps, and all it looks like they're going to try to pick off Bulldog so he can't do his split push shenanigans. That is big. He's probably going to have buyback money. Yes, immediately buys back.
Best teacher.
Where's he going to go? Where is he going to go? He's going to start pushing up that top lane, which is exactly what he needs to do. Keep that pushed far, far out.
Uproot and after them.
Excuse me. And it looks like Empire maybe just going to try to throne. They can just muscle down the middle lane. They feel like, all right, we don't care. We have a big tree leading our damn charge. Look at this man. Look at this man's stride. Look at him swagger down that middle lane. And yes, swagger was a word before everyone decided that swag was the new thing for frat boys. Look it up. And yeah, Empire just gonna go for the win at this point. Bulldog pushing up, but his team really needs him to defend right now. There's the pull in for Ake. Remove all of that nice Shadow Demon support. Nice trio. Ake is going to buy back. S4 goes down as well to the burst damage of No Tidehunter. EGM going to be the next target. They catch the stun. The Sonic Scream helps pick him off as well as hitting Ake and Loda. Loda does manage to pick off Leshrac. That's big, but he gets sheeped in the process. Defensive Disruption is going to waste most of the sheep. Offensive sheep coming out onto Opa. Flame Break is going to put more damage out on the Loda. He has already used his Mana Break. He can't be confident with that. Opa looks like he's going to be in trouble. Going to go down. There goes the Aegis. Empire, in the meantime, while Opa is basically holding the entire team of NTH, the rest of Empire is just killing towers and getting set to kill the throne. There's Loda. He's going in. He's very confident about this one. Buys back immediately. Knows that he needs to defend. Knows that it is do or die right now for No Tidehunter. Tower goes down, and I just don't see how they can win this. I mean, especially with Bulldog getting grabbed right there. Loda may be in, but he can't do enough to stop this. This is gonna be game. Bulldog should not have buyback. S4 reses, maybe he can help turn the tide of this a little. Empire, their resources are running a little bit dry. They have the Coddle to try and keep... No, they don't have the Coddle anymore. Loda catches him with a blink in. The infinite mana is gone. Queen of Pain picks off the anti-mage, and there's the ultimate to make sure that Nyx Assassin can't get out of the way. That should be game, ladies and gentlemen, as Empire pushes down NTH's throne right here in what really was quite an epic finish. I mean, you saw Empire with the lead for the entire game, but you knew for the entire game that one misstep, one lost fight, could just hand it to No Tidehunter because of the anti-mage. Well played, well executed, no big missteps from Empire, and just played really excellent Dota. Played to their advantages, got some critical early kills on the anti-mage to slow him down, and the supports from NTH just felt like they were constantly getting picked off by that Bat Rider. And that's something you have to worry about when there's a Bat on the other team, getting your supports thrashed. Alright, that's it for Game 1. I'm going to grab some water, move on to Game 2. See y'all in a few minutes.